Okay, so we're going to look at how functions work, and in relation to this, we're going to do a username and password program using a function. Okay, so up here, I've split the program up into the function, which is this part, and the main program, which is this part down here. Okay, so we've got a loop here, which will carry on asking the user to enter their username and password, unless the function says they get the username and password correct. So this is how it works. Now, down here, they type in their username and password, and I've called the function here. The function is called login. You can see up there and there, login. And we've got username and password going in as what we call arguments. Okay, so these are then received into the function up here. So we're going up to the function now. The user's typed in their username and password. That's been put into the function, and we call these parameters. So you can see there I've got two, UN and PW, split up with a comma. We could have more going in, we just split them up with commas. Okay, so this means the function can now use whatever's in UN and PW from the main program. Okay, so in this instance, I'm saying if the username is equal to access, which is my highly secure username, and then if the password is equal to let me in, which again is highly secure, I'm setting a variable called granted to the string granted. Okay, that is then being returned from the function. Okay, so the idea of a function is you return something to the main program. So the variable granted is now the string granted, so that gets returned to the main program. So we come down here and the main program runs, and the idea is because granted is now no longer the string no, okay, it was no up here, which means the loop carries on running, but now it's the string granted. This loop will now not run, and it will say you are now in the program. Okay. If they get either the password or the username wrong, I've done something slightly different. Okay, I've set granted back to no, okay, and then returned that to the main program. So therefore the loop will carry on running here, and it will keep asking them for their username and password. Okay, so what we're getting from the function, we're getting this we're getting this variable called granted, and this is the variable that controls this loop. Okay, and the loop will keep going if they get the password or username wrong. If they get it right, the loop will stop and it will let them into the program. Okay, so let's just see that working. I'm just going to type in a few. So that's a wrong username and a wrong password. Okay, we can see over here. So if we do it correctly this time, so access. So now it's gone to enter your password, which we set up here in the function is let me in. So this should stop the loop in the main program because it's returning the variable granted as granted, which means this loop will stop. Let's see, access granted. There we go. The loop doesn't now continue because we got the username and password correct, and then that runs. Okay, so to sum up, we are taking input in the main program as an argument. We're sending it into the function as a parameter. We're checking in the function if they get the details right. If they do, we return something that stops the loop. If they don't, we return something that keeps the loop going. Okay, so a function, to sum up, will return something to the main program, but then we can do something with whatever it's returned.